Welcome back to Community Matters. We have Dr. Nicole Swiner back with us today. Dr. Swiner wears many hats. She's a physician, professor, speaker, and author. Best known for her book, How to Avoid the Superwoman Complex, about balancing mind, body, and spirit. And as always, welcome to the show. It's good to see you again.
It's good to see you too.
And I think I always make the joke, where's your cape? And every time we get together.
I left it in the car.
But you do mention that you don't have to be literally a superwoman to be considered a superwoman. Explain that, please.
Yep. So, the superwoman complex has both positive and negative connotations, mostly negative, unfortunately. This whole notion of being literally the superwoman to all around you, your family, your friends, your coworkers, your employees, and then neglecting yourself at the end of the day. And then as the family doctor, I end up seeing you in the office and writing all these prescriptions for high blood pressure and diabetes and all these, negative effects that come from just trying to do too much for too many.
How do you keep the fun, excitement into a relationship when both of you are doing what you're doing just to pay the bills and take care of the kids?
That's right. Well, one thing that I talk to my friends about a lot, particularly those of us that have kids, mine are 5 and almost 7, still depend upon us a good deal,
Sure.
are independent in some ways, but otherwise depend on mommy and daddy for a lot, is teaching the kids to go to bed at a routine scheduled time, hopefully earlier rather than late,
Right.
because I focus a lot on sleep in general, particularly for myself and for everyone. We should all be getting 6 to 8 hours of sleep pretty regularly, nightly. And if your kids are staying up till 11 and 12 o'clock at night, and then there's no room for you and you and your partner to have good quality time. So we've taught our kids fairly early that 8 o'clock, let's get it together, go to bed, so that mommy and daddy have some quality time, so that we can then get into the bed earlier as well and get our good rest.
Yeah, I remember my parents putting us to bed when it was still light outside.
Yeah.
The kids were playing outside. I never really understood why, but I do now. I most certainly do now. Well, you'd mentioned that, because of the role taken on and the stress factor, and it gets to drugs and anxiety and mental illness. What are the signs? How do we address that? You see it everywhere today.
Yep.
But especially in a household with mom, for instance, what are some of the warning signs?
So, I talk to women a lot, again, about work-life balance, self-care. In this month being May and National Mental Health Awareness Month, we see signs everywhere, so we see it on social media, we see it on the internet, celebrities, politicians, everyone's seemingly going through some mental health stress.
Driving me to mental illness.
That's right, driving us, right. So turning that stuff off is important too.
Yes.
But, depression in particular can present in many different ways, but the classic textbook ways are at least 2 weeks or more of feeling, down and depressed mood, clearly, suicidal thoughts, trouble sleeping or sleeping too much and not waking up restful, eating too little, eating too much, feeling really fatigued and having really low energy and malaise. It can present in a lot of different ways, but the depressed mood almost all the time is really the cardinal symptom.
And that stresses out the entire body.
Absolutely.
So what kind of health issues, in addition to the mental health issues, that would a person suffer?
So it kind of, they're all kind of triggered by one another. So if you're feeling depressed mood or you have low energy or you're not sleeping well, then you usually end up in the doctor's office with things like high blood pressure, your sugar's going up because your cortisol levels, which is the stress hormone, doesn't have time to come back down. So it triggers all these other negative effects that then lead to your heart having issues, your muscles and joints having issues, chronic pain. So almost any medical condition can be linked back to stress or some mental health issue in 6 steps or less in most cases.
Well, how do you address that? Nowadays, we hear about the opioid epidemic, for instance, but that's true with, you have Ambien, you have a lot of, it's almost like the go-to thing for a lot of folks. Here, take a pill, you'll be happy.
Right.
But that's not a good thing.
No.
So how can you be happy? How do you get out of this, I'll call it a rut, but it's more than a rut.
Yeah. Well, again, as a primary care physician, I almost always advocate for people to have a good primary doc, nurse practitioner, PA that you're seeing on a regular basis. Someone who knows you, knows your history, can kind of tell from your mood or affect no matter what your visit is about. someone that can focus on your mental health as well. And no, drugs and pharmaceutical prescription meds are not always the answer. Counseling and therapy are very important, if not as important, when it comes to mental health. Exercise, getting good rest, there are a lot of natural things that I talk about now, that essential oils and things that can help elevate your mood naturally.
And you mentioned getting together in support groups. That wouldn't be Facebook, would it?
That can involve Facebook,
it can?
yes.
Okay. A lot of people go to Facebook.
That's right.
Social
that's
media.
Right. There are a lot of positives about social media, particularly for like-minded groups like that. And as a personal plug, I have the Superwoman Survival Group that I created on Facebook. Yeah, and we even have a subscription box program that we do to kind of just to have something that shows up as a nice surprise on your doorstep that has something to do with your mental health is fun. So finding those like-minded, positive support groups on Facebook, on Instagram, whatever, something that makes you laugh throughout the day, post a nice positive meme or saying, can really help to elevate your mood.
How do people get a hold of you or get your book? How do they do that?
So DocSwiner.com is my website, and then I'm Doc Swiner on all social media, so reach out if needed.
I feel better already, Doc.
Good.
Yeah, I do. It's good to see you again.
Good to see
Thank you for being here. And thank you for watching. We hope you've enjoyed today's show. If you have any questions or would like to know more, visit our website at RaleighCW.com and myrdctv.com. I'm Bill LeMahon. Thank you for watching Community Matters, and we'll see you next week.